Hi, I'm Tommy.
Hi, I'm Nemanja. Welcome to Cloud Couch.
It's where we discuss cloud topics from a couch perspective.
Not so comfortable couch.
All right, welcome. So in this episode, we wanted to introduce ourselves a bit, who I am, who Nemanja is, our companies a bit, also what we're doing here a bit, the experience we have specifically with AWS, and the broader topic that we want to bring together here in Cloud Couch.
Exactly. So, why are we doing this, and why you should listen to us, and hopefully you'll get to know us a little bit better. And so maybe we start with you, with me. Okay, cool. I'll start with myself then. So I have about 20 years of IT experience, which makes me old.
21?
21, yeah. Oh, God. And most of my life I've been a developer. So I started in research and development and then moved to different startup and small companies, medium size, and then in large enterprises. So in Switzerland, I've spent some time doing solution and enterprise architecture in financial services like insurance and banks, where I learned a lot about how enterprises are functioning, how they are organized internally, what works, what doesn't work. And about, I would say, last 5 years, I discovered this little thingy called cloud. And I don't think I can ever look back. So if we look at the way development works, like I can remember doing working on applications, developing and depending on infrastructure and ops teams to provide load balancers, different servers for me, constraining me in many different ways. And when I discovered cloud and realized that all of this I can do myself, and I don't need anybody to do it, I think I got very excited. Over time, I have also realized the dangers of that and the increased responsibility that you have. And I'm hoping that we'll sort of address many of these points and help our audience to learn from some of our mistakes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Maybe quickly also about myself then to get a start here and digging deeper in us here. So I mean, I'm also coming from engineering side, technical initially, and having worked in starting out at Nokia and big enterprise, different organizations there, building software very close to the hardware, either the mobile phone side or let's say network side type of hardware. So really dedicated infrastructure for base stations and so on. And when I moved to Switzerland, so I'm originally from Finland, and now I'm here since more than 13 years, married, kids, all that nice stuff as well. And I've been here in algo trading and finance for 6 years, which is high performance computing and really interesting topics that are very nice to contrast towards cloud or other topics I talk about let's say I like to talk about, which is blockchain. When you come from something like cutting edge, high performant algo trading, and then you take the perspective of, say, internet services and applications, and then you go back to, say, telco, it's very nice to have this broad visibility on kind of building software or building products in technology, but you are optimizing many times for very different things in terms of how you build the software, and different architectures, different security topics, different tooling, many different interesting things to realize. So having that in basically in the luggage or in the basically experience that I bring now, the last 5 years I've been both in cloud, so Google Cloud and AWS, and also been on the entrepreneur side myself with several different companies, but also doing consulting to large enterprises, small companies, but it's usually in the greenfield type of thing, so it's more isolated. You're not dealing with organizational topics. These are things
like you.
Yeah, exactly. This is where we are kind of very complementary in what we bring to the table and to the conversation here in this channel, in terms of that we kind of cover everything from, you know, the greenfield startups, or even, you know, smaller, large startups, but also the whole way to enterprise and the biggest companies in the world, and their challenges and their, you know, journeys and considerations. So that's really, you know, for myself, and I would say, just to describe briefly, even if I have like a very large, let's say, time amount in hands-on engineering, building software, leading projects and all this, and running my own company, really the place I enjoy most to be in overall is thinking about the business, the product or service, and then seeing how you realize that with technology. And this is also what I like to generally advise my clients, talk about when we talk as well. This is usually what we talk about.
This is also how we met, right? We started discussing about your product, that you were a CTO of a startup, and you were deciding where to go, Google and AWS.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, I came along and pulled you into AWS.
Took me back on the road. No, yeah, but absolutely. I mean, it's a very, very interesting moment, because I was indeed looking to find somebody like Nemanja, who is on the inside, one has a lot of experience, has a lot of complementary experience to myself, but really somebody I can have a conversation with to answer some of the questions that are not, you know, right or wrong. It's more like, okay, if you choose this, how would that look like, or what could it mean? Also understanding of course more about, I think what's a big challenge for me, at least with AWS, just to kind of jump ahead a bit, is really, you don't many times know the intent, and the intent being, is it supposed to work like this, or is this supposed to be the best way, or, you know, these things. So these are the types of conversations
nobody knows.
we have had many times. To really look at, you know, holistically, we know what we want to achieve technically, business wise. Now let's, you know, figure out what does that translate into. And yeah, like how we met is like now maybe 3 years ago, more or less. And ever since we are in this kind of very inspiring and productive discussion about all the different topics that we want to now talk about here, I would say. Maybe you want to share your thoughts on how we met and what you thought it looked like when I came there with, okay, is it Google or AWS, and how do we do it?
No, after a couple of slaps in the face, you're back in order. Back to factory settings. It's I think, I mean, yeah, of course, I'm a bit biased, because I was like 4 years I spent in AWS as a solution architect in Switzerland, and advising different customers how to best design applications that are cloud native, how to solve certain problems with AWS services. For every problem, there are so many solutions and so many services that you can use. Knowing which one is the right is very difficult. There are pros and cons of
it's the trade-offs, and that's really what we've been discussing, and it's so important.
So after that, I really wanted to get much closer to working with customers. So this is the reason why I left AWS and I created my own consulting company, One Way to Cloud, where I'm focusing 100% on AWS, but this is where I help customers both in a greenfield and startup situation, and also large enterprises. So greenfield and startups, they usually have a path that is the same with everyone. So that is the first, like, cloud awareness, why and how you should be using cloud. Then it goes into more hands-on work, where you're setting account structure, landing zone, you're bootstrapping the environment, setting up the whole automation and application development environment, doing the monitoring, reporting. So this is what I'm doing with these type of customers. But they're also like established in the cloud, as I would call customers, that already have productive workloads in the cloud, and they're interested in assessing the workloads, whether they're cost effective, whether the security is right, where are they on their cloud journey if they want to go all in into AWS, how much more they need to do. So these are the things that we will be discussing as well in Cloud Couch episodes, trying to demystify some of these things. Some cloud topics are really hard. Cloud can be sometimes depressing in many ways if you don't know what you're doing. But also, if you understand, it is very empowering. Once as I mentioned in the beginning, once you start using cloud, there is really no way going back to the old way of working. There is so much power out there that it is really the biggest revolution in the IT, I think, in the history.
Hence one way to cloud, right? Yes. Yeah, absolutely. No, it's absolutely. I fully agree with that, and to add a bit also for you guys listening. So having this experience we have, and also this complementary experience, we can challenge each other. We can have these conversations to really tease out how we look at things, and how is our discussion if we are solving something or talking. Is it now security, or is it talking a backend for a mobile application, and maybe it's going to be globally scalable. How do you approach that, and what are the thinkings, and how do you think as an established company, having legacy stuff, moving to the cloud, and all these different things, because it's not about having right and wrong answers. Even like you many times say it's also not cloud or it's not given that it needs to be cloud. Definitely not. This is also how I see it. It's not going to be, like I also consult in blockchain space, and it's not like, because I have, expertise and I'm doing consulting here, doesn't mean I'm gonna stuff it down somebody's throat and let's do blockchain for the sake of blockchain, let's do cloud because of cloud. Or you need to understand it so you can have this intelligent conversation about your business and pros and cons, and understanding what it really is, and not somehow a misconception. Maybe even think, this is an engineering thing and I'm a business person or something like this, so I don't need to care. Well, I don't know cloud really, No, it's not that. It's actually, you're the business person. You care about the business. What does it enable you? And it's all about this broad topic, which is really what it's all about in the end, where it's business agility and being competitive, being a tech company, or at least having tech in the core in the company, which is any company in the near future is going to be. So
exactly, and it's topics like this. So why cloud? Do I need cloud? Multi-cloud, cloud lock-in. There are a lot of things to discuss that many customers are actually asking for, and we'll try to give our views, so our opinions, some of the war stories and success stories. So and then you can see how this has been done in the past, and you can decide what is the best path for you.
Yeah, definitely, and it's also, of course, a way for us to show how we're thinking and how we're working, invite other people, so people with similar types of, let's say, problems. Like, let's take a concrete example that's increasing. It's in legal and regulatory and compliance. This is something that goes across all industries more and more. In the end, the common denominator is many times data, and these are, you can't ignore that. And well, then you have a whole team. You have the business people, you have most likely marketing people, because probably they want to do stuff with your data. You have your engineers, you have your lawyers, you have your compliance officer, you have your users. It's like everybody needs to be able to come together, have an intelligent discussion, otherwise there will be dragons.
Exactly. And you had experience with that with the e-commerce platform that you were building?
Not the dragons, but the other things. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's something you and I have been looking at, and it's a great example, and I'm sure we're going to come back several times to projects I've been doing and you've been doing, and looking at real things. How do you look at that? Like, okay, so we have data, we have users, GDPR, not GDPR, what are the things, what do we need to do, what kind of data do we have, how do we store it, how do we use it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And of course, if you have your problems or business needs that you would like to discuss with us, get in contact with us. We are easily reachable across multiple platforms, and we'll be happy to have a one-on-one discussion with you and see how we can bring value to your business. Same applies for just giving suggestions, comments, feedbacks on the Cloud Couch series, and we're happy to hear your thoughts and where we can improve and get better.
Yes, absolutely. And on that note, we're definitely looking forward to this journey here, and we want to make it as much interactive and broad as we can. And fun, definitely fun, because it's a fun thing. Cloud is fun.
Cloud is fun, yes, until it's not.
Absolutely. So if you want to know anything more about Nemanja, then you can just ask. If you want to know anything about me, you can just ask. If there's anything that we should tell about the companies we run, the services that we provide in more detail, something about our experience, any project that we might talk about or mentioned here, use the comments below or reach out.
Cool. Thank you. Stay around and see you soon.
Yeah, thank you. See you soon. So if this is a relevant topic for your business, just contact us so that we can help you.
If you like what we are doing, please subscribe to our channel and like our videos.
And also, you can give us feedback and also suggestions for topics that you would like us to discuss and go into more detail.
In any case, stay tuned and see you soon.